Happy October, friends. We are going to start out the month, well, my first video of the month with a Crockpot recipe. It is a classic. It is a tried and true, but I know not everyone has done it before, or I also know that we do things differently than other people, even with a classic recipe. So I thought I would share it with you. I made this on a super cozy day. So yeah, let's get into the recipe. Good morning, guys. We are going to be making a delicious, cozy fall meal. I mean, you don't have to only eat it in the fall, but we have some weather outside. We're getting whatever remnants of Hurricane Ian today. We should only be seeing, I mean, there's a chance for like localized flooding, but like our home area is usually fine from that. There's a small chance of tornadoes. Not really chance of, just, what do they say? Conditions are slightly favorable. Anyways, I don't expect us to have a whole lot to deal with, but it is rainy and, you know, nice cozy day, dark outside. So I'm doing a Crockpot meal, which may or may not be smart because it could be very helpful if we do end up losing power, or it could be not great because if we lose power early, I'll have food in the Crockpot that's barely cooked. But I don't expect we'll lose power. We usually don't. So we're gonna go for it. We're gonna make a roast. I dug through my freezer and I had a round roast in there. So I'm gonna just peel and slice up some carrots and throw them in a greased Crockpot. I am not gonna put potatoes in. That would be very easy to do if you wanted to, but I kind of wanna make mashed potatoes with this, so hopefully all goes well and I can do that later as well. So we're gonna peel these up, get these in the Crockpot, and then move on to seasoning our meat. All right, so I got my meat trimmed up. I put on top of the carrots and we're just gonna add on a few seasonings. You're gonna wanna salt it really good because that will flavor it, and it also helps, I think, like get it nice and tender. I'm gonna salt both sides of this meat. I don't think I'm gonna season, well, we'll season both sides. Sorry, I'm deciding as I'm going. I'm gonna use some onion powder. I would have liked to put some onions in here, but I prefer to do like large chunks for this because I don't wanna actually eat the onions. And I don't have any of that. I just have some ones that I've chopped and frozen. So we will just use onion powder. And I'm gonna use some parsley and a little bit of rosemary. I'm gonna see if I can flip this without making a complete mess. All right, now do the other side. I was making this meal on like a Sunday where I was gonna be gone all morning and wanted it ready when I came home. I would for sure put the potatoes in, but like I said, I kind of wanna make mashed potatoes later. Kind of wanna do some fun ones to doctor them up. So I'm gonna put some garlic, and then I just have a little bit of beef broth left in the fridge from something else, and I'm gonna add some of that. I'm gonna do it on the outside because I don't wanna wash off all of those seasonings. You don't need a lot of broth because the meat will produce some too, some juices, but I'm just gonna do the rest of this container just because I don't wanna waste it. And I wanna make sure that I have enough liquid to do a good amount of gravy. And I'm just putting about 3 or 4 tablespoons of butter across the top. All right, and my slow cooker base is on the other counter, but I'm gonna cover this and put it on low for hopefully about 8 hours. And we'll come back later, make some mashed potatoes and gravy and all that other stuff. All right, so I'm gonna just do a voiceover for this part because, well, my husband and I were chatting while I was doing this. So I just melted up about 3 to 4 tablespoons of butter, and then I'm going to whisk in about 3 to 4 tablespoons of flour just until I get the consistency that I am looking for. We're just gonna make a really simple gravy for our roast. This was to the point where the roast was just about done, and I also was making mashed potatoes, which I didn't show you, but I'll tell you about. And we're just gonna kind of keep adding it until you've got a nice thick consistency. And then we're gonna add in the broth from the slow cooker. I'm just scooping some out, trying to, you know, not grab any meat or vegetables, obviously. And I'm just going to keep adding it. I probably added about 1.5 cups altogether maybe, but just whisking it in between and just kept going until I had the thickness for the gravy that I wanted. And that is all there is to it. All right, so I did not record all the little things because my husband and I were busy talking. So I did make some mashed potatoes. I just, you know, boiled and smashed the potatoes with, and then mixed them with some cream cheese and a little bit of milk. That's how I did them tonight. And I left mine kind of chunky, so I'm gonna serve mine all layered on top like this. And the roast did take probably more like 9 to 10 hours. I did bump it up to high because I wanted to eat. And I also opened a can of corn, drained it, and poured that in the crock pot as well. I'm just serving mine all together like this. And then some of that gravy. And there you go. And we made it through the storm, not nearly what people had in Florida. Our lights flickered constantly kind of for an hour or two. But we never fully lost power, but still a great meal for a nice, cozy, rainy day. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments below, do you like using your slow cooker, your crock pot for cooking? I really do, although I will be honest, I feel like I don't use it like as much as I would like to because I have a hard time finding recipes that we would enjoy in the crock pot. I don't know if that even makes sense, but let me know what you think down in the comments, and please subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.